We welcome you back to Boshemer Gymnasium here on a Friday evening in Brevard, North Carolina. Brevard back at it after a matchup on Tuesday with Bob Jones, this time welcoming in Johnson University out of Tennessee. It should be a great matchup tonight. Brevard fell in 5 sets to Bob Jones the other night, but what a matchup that was. Brevard fell behind 2-0, came back and really made it a fight there at the end. Brevard has really been in a lot of sets so far this year, 17 of the 35 sets, so more than half, or almost half, excuse me, have been decided by 5 points or less, and a couple the other night as well. 12 have been won by the opponents, and 5 from Brevard. So the Tornadoes are in the fight night in and night out, but just have not been able to close out some of these close sets. We'll see if the Tornadoes can do that tonight. Again, a young team looking to still find its footing. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the YouTube live stream. Thank you for joining tonight. Feel free to drop a chat. Let me know where you're watching from and how your Friday night is going and overall how your week has been. Would love to hear from all of you here on the YouTube live stream. We're about a minute and a half away from the national anthem and getting things teed up here inside the Bosch. It's been a busy week for Tornado Athletics. It will continue to be so as we go throughout the weekend. Brevard women's soccer, a 2-0 win over Piedmont just a couple days ago. A really good win for women's soccer, who continues to impress this season, has yet to allow a goal when scoring almost 30 so far this year. And as I mentioned, Brevard volleyball against Bob Jones the other night. The Tornadoes close out the week here at home. And then tomorrow, Saturday, a double-header soccer matchup, men's soccer versus center at 2, and then the women at 4:30 against Averett. So we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we will have Tornado volleyball right here on the YouTube Live. Be sure to stick around. We'll be right back.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
We welcome you back to the Bosch here in Brevard, North Carolina. It's Brevard and Johnson University out of Tennessee coming right up here on the YouTube live stream. Thanks for joining me tonight. Ryan Wilkes taking you through all your coverage as always as the two teams are about ready to go. Brevard in the home white uniforms today with the blue numbering and lettering on the front and the back. And Johnson is in the gray, light gray uniforms with a white and navy collar around the arm sleeves and the navy numbers and lettering with a white outline on the front and the back. What a matchup we have tonight. Brevard looking to get in the win column here at home. The record of this team is really not indicative of how many matches they've been in and the talent on this roster. And I think it was shown the other night against Bob Jones just how much talent Brevard has. This Johnson team is coming off a year in which it went 28-7 and 16-5 in conference play, back-to-back years with the same tally for Johnson after going 15-16 in 2022. This team headed by Robin Vanoy and Donnie Vanoy has really made a turnaround over the past couple of seasons and has been an impressive squad this year. Let's go over the starters first for Brevard. Number 1, Emma Fontana is out there along with Izzy Boulay, Caroline Moon, Abigail Kelly, Jackson Tamicki, and Milana Hoyle. The libero Lily White will get ready to come into the contest. And we look on the other side for Johnson. Number 1, Hannah Lukey. Number 2, Micaiah Greenlee. Number 4, Kaylin Marshall is out there, along with number 18, Marissa McMahon. As the two teams are about ready to compete here tonight. Also out there for Johnson is number 14, Abigail Brown. So feel free to leave a comment in the YouTube live chat as we're ready to go. It'll be Izzy Boulay to serve for the Tornadoes as she tees up the first serve of this contest, and we are underway. Set up in the middle, a big swing, it's blocked, and it's a point for the Tornadoes. It looks like Jackson Tamicki was there on the swing from number 20, Lucy Morris. 1-0 Brevard to get things started tonight. As Boulay tees up the serve yet again. Serve goes back row. Set up in the middle by Marshall. Now near side swing for Abigail Brown, and she scores. Point Johnson, and we're tied at 1. As the first 2 points were tied at 1 apiece. And that will send Lucy Morris back to serve for Johnson University. She sends a serve over with the right hand in the back row for Caroline Moon. Boulay sets up Hoyle in the middle, who tips it over the net. The Royals are right there. Near side, Brown. Big swing, but she's blocked. Marshall with the dig, and now Brown goes for it again, but Kelly's there in the back row. Boulay sets up Hoyle. She swings. What a dig by Kaylin Marshall, who was there as the Royals roll it over. Boulay sets up to Mickey, and she scores. Off the hands of the middle blockers, Araya Gorley, and Brevard's back in front, 2-1. Good start so far for the Tornadoes. As Moon heads back to serve. Great crowd on hand tonight on a Friday night in Brevard as Moon sends a serve back row. Lukey sets up far side, a big swing down the line, but it's out of play. Point Brevard. That was Lukey with a nice attack down the line there, just barely missed it. Brevard's out in front, 3-1. Served by Moon, goes back row, now set up by Marshall in the middle. Brown, a big swing, she's blocked, but it's kept alive by Johnson. Lukey rolls it over, Boulay sets up Kelly far side, a high attack there as Marshall dumps it, and she finds a hardwood. Point Johnson on a nice attack from Kaylin Marshall. She'll check out. And Kirsten Bell will check in for the first time, 3-2. As Johnson back within 1. Hannah Lukey heads back to serve. And her serve is called a violation on Brevard, and it's 3-3. Not sure exactly what the call was there. Maybe a formation error on the Tornadoes there, and we're tied up at 3. Lukey back to serve again. Tees it up with the right hand, sends it back row for Abigail Kelly. Boulay tries to get there, can't do it. And it's a service ace for Lukey, 4-3. Johnson in front for the first time this evening, early in the first set. As Lukey's serve goes back row again. White bumps it over the net. Set up in the middle. Big swing in the middle there by Gorley. Kept alive by Brevard. Now far side. It's going to be Kirsten Bell, recently subbed in, and she puts it down. Point Royals, and it's 5-3. Johnson starting to pick up some momentum early in the first set as Lukey serve. Goes back row for Kelly. Boulay in the middle, sets up Hoyle. Johnson's there as Lukey sets it up near side. Brown a swing. She's blocked, but it goes out of play. Point Johnson. Brown has been active here in this first set, and she extends a Johnson lead to 3. Lukey tees up the serve, goes right back to Abigail Kelly. Now Boulay sets up Kelly, who puts it in the net. Point Johnson. Bit of a run here, a 5-point run for the Johnson University Royals on the attacking error from Abigail Kelly, and it's 7-3. Here's the serve from Lukey, goes back row again for Abigail Kelly. Boulay sets up in the middle, it's Caroline Moon. Now Lukey, far side. Bell off the hands of the middle blockers, right back to Lily White. Boulay sets up far side for Abigail Kelly. Now Lukey, right back to Abigail Brown, who rolls it over the top. Caroline Moon is right there. Far side Kelly. Nice dig by Brown to keep it alive. Now Boulay sets up Milana Hoyle, who pokes it over the net, but two Royals right there to deny Milana Hoyle, and it's 8-3. An extended run now for Johnson. Now a 6-point run to take a 5-point lead. As Lukey serve goes out of play. Nice break for Brevard there to stem the tide a little bit as Emma Fontana will check in for Jackson to Mickey. And Brevard gets the serve back. Lily White will serve for Brevard. I'm going to answer a run from Johnson with one of their own. White serve goes in the middle. Lukey now far side for Brown. Brown back row. Moon is right there. White to Fontana, who has to roll it over. Now Lukey in the middle sets up Brown. White with the dig. Now Boulay sets up Hoyle. A huge swing, but she's denied by the middle blockers, and Johnson keeps it alive. Bell, a big swing, goes back row and scores. 9-4 Johnson to get the serve back. On a nice swing by Kirsten Bell. A couple subs for Johnson. Micaiah Greenlee back in. Checking in for the first time is Anna Bierling. Bierling serve. Back row for Moon. Far side Kelly. Kelly is blocked, and it goes down. Point Royals, and it's 10-4. Brevard burns a timeout here in the first set. It's 10-4. Johnson as we take a break with them. Tornadoes find themselves behind early in the first set and look for some momentum on the other side.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
We're back here at the Bosch as Johnson has taken a 6-point lead in this first set. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the YouTube live stream. Thanks for tuning in this evening on a Friday night. So we take a look at some of the early stats. 2 kills apiece for Abigail Brown and Kirsten Bell, who have been early impact players for Johnson to take this early 6-point lead for Brevard. A couple attacking errors, only 1 kill so far, and it came from Jackson to Mickey. 10-4 your score after a Brevard timeout. We'll see how the Tornadoes answer here. With Burling back to serve again. Serve goes back row, Caroline Moon. Now Boulay sets up Milana Hoyle near side. Right there are the Royals once again. Now far side Bell rolls it over the top of the middle blockers off the hands of White. And Boulay was there, so White rolls over the free ball. Set up in the middle, Lukey. Off the hands of Boulay, and it goes down. Point Johnson. 11-4 your score. Johnson's really capitalized in this first set after a back and forth start to the set. Johnson took the lead 4-3 and hasn't really looked back. Serve from Berlin, goes back row to Moon. Boulay tries to dump, but right there is Hannah Lukey. Far side, a hard swing from Bell, and it's well out of play. Point Brevard. Now Kirkland Hudler is going to check in from Alana Hoyle, I assume, to do the serving duties, and she will. As Hudler heads to the back row, ready to tee it up and help Brevard get on a little run here. Hudler serve. Goes to Greenlee. Libero sets it up in the middle. Brevard keeping the play alive. Boulay far side Kelly. She's blocked and nobody's home. It's going to be a block for Johnson. And it's back to a 7-point lead. Gorley checks out. Checking back in is Lucy Morris. With the libero, Marissa McMahon heading back to serve. 12-5 your score as the serve goes back row off the hands of Moon. And a service ace for the Royals. And it's an 8-point lead. Marissa McMahon with a nice service ace there to extend this Johnson lead. As she tees up the serve with the right hand. Goes back row for White. Now Boulay sets up near side. Fontana tipped around the net, kept alive by the Royals. Lukey to Bell on the far side. She just rolled it over the top of the Brevard middle blockers, and it's a 9-point lead. Really crafty attack there from Bell, who I mentioned earlier had already had 2 kills for the last time out. Make that 3. As McMahon tees up the next serve, back row for Caroline Moon. Boulay sets up Kelly far side, and it goes past the back line, but a violation on Johnson. Point Brevard. So far, the only points for the Tornadoes have come off mistakes from Johnson. See, the Tornadoes can capitalize on some of these errors as Kelly heads back to serve with an 8-point disadvantage for the home team. Now a big swing near side by Micaiah Greenlee. She scores. And the Royals get the serve back once again. Brevard has tried to build momentum here in this first set, but the Royals have really not allowed that to happen as Caitlin Marshall checks back in. She'll serve for the Royals, who have a 9-point lead. Marshall serve. Back row for Kirkland Hudler. Now Boulay pushes it far side. Moon, a strong swing, but right there for the Royals. Now Greenlee tries again, and it finds the back line. Point Royals. Largest advantage of the contest. A 10-point lead here in this first set as Marshall heads back to serve once again. Really nice job by Burling there on the back row to keep that play alive, and then Greenlee capped it off. Serve goes back row for Hudler. Boulay met at the net, but she's able to win the battle. Point Brevard. Really nice job by Boulay just to overpower the Royals at the net. And it's 16-7. Back goes Emma Fontana to serve. Jackson Tamiki back in. Lily White heads to the bench as Fontana sends a serve towards the back row. Set up in the middle, a big swing for the Royals. Now far side Moon off the hands of McMahon. Point Tornadoes. Brevard now in the kill column once again. Just the second Tornado to earn a kill here in this contest. It's a 16-8 game. Far side Kelly. Boulay pushes it far side for Moon. A big swing from Moon. She's blocked, but Abigail Kelly is right there to recover. In the middle, Fontana too strong. And it's an attacking error for Emma Fontana. It's 17-8. Couple Royals checking in. Mackenzie Collins will come in, as well as Abigail Brown, who got a much-needed breather. She's approaching 600 career kills. She had 596 coming in this contest. We'll keep an eye on that as Boulay sets up far side. Moon goes cross court and scores. Bounced all the way up into the bleachers right in front of us as a powerful swing from Caroline Moon cuts it back to an 8-point deficit. Here comes Milana Hoyle checking back in for Kirkland Hudler as Boulay heads back to serve. Boulay's serve goes off the top of the net. Good job by Johnson to keep that one alive. As Lukey on the far side sends it back row for Kelly. Now Hoyle pokes it over. McMahon's there. Hoyle tries to go back row. The Royals got a hand on it, and it went off the ceiling. Now Brown tries it and puts it in the net. Point Tornadoes. A little bit momentum building here for Brevard in this first set. As Boulay heads back to serve, Brevard's cut the deficit to just 7. Her serve goes back row for McMahon. Collins now to Brown, who rolls it over. Kelly to Boulay, Boulay for Tamicki, and she scores. Powerful swing from Jackson Tamicki. And it's a 6-point deficit now as the Tornadoes continue to build some momentum. We saw it the other night. Fell behind early, made a push at the end. We'll see what Brevard has in store for this evening. Boulay's serve a little bit awkward. Goes off the palm of her hand and into the net. Point Royals as McMahon checks out. Checking back in is Araya Gorley. And the serve goes back row. Now Boulay at the net. Goes off the hands of Gorley. She scores. And it's 20-11. 19-11 as Brevard burns another timeout. As Johnson continues to be the aggressors in this contest. We'll take a break with them, come back and see if Brevard can make a late push here in this first set. We'll be right back.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
We welcome you back to the Bosch. Brevard finds itself behind 19-11 here in this first set. Mention it a little bit. If you're a Johnson University fan listening, you'll appreciate this. 2 kills tonight for Abigail Brown. She needs 2 more to reach 600 career kills. What a milestone that would be for her. She's been active early and often tonight as Johnson has built this early lead in set 1. Lucy Morris will serve for the Johnson University Royals. Out of the timeout, a high arcing serve goes off the hands of Abigail Kelly, goes all the way over the net. It's set up in the middle for Morris. Back row, Kelly. Boulay tries it up. Nobody's home in the middle of the hardwood. Point Tornadoes. She was so effective with that 2 nights ago, where she had 10 kills in addition to a ton of assists. She's 4th in the conference in assists. As Moon's serve goes back row to Brown. Now Brown, a big swing, goes off the hands of Moon. Boulay is there, takes a tumble, and Hoyle rolls over the free ball. Set up far side, Gorley tries to go back row. Moon is right there. Boulay to Tamicki, who pushes it all the way to the back corner and finds a little patch of hardwood that was left open on the far sideline. 19-13 your scores. Brevard looks to make a surge late in the first set. Moon will head back to serve once again as she sends it over. Brown's there on the back row. Set up in the middle for Gorley, who puts it down. She high pointed that one and plunked it right into the hardwood right between the Brevard back row. 20-13 your score as another sub coming in for Johnson. Will be Kirsten Bell to check back in. She leads the Royals in kills with 4. Serve goes back row for Kelly. Boulay sets up Kelly far side, goes off the hands of a Royal and out of play. Point Brevard, who brings it back within 6. Morris was there, just a hard swing from Abigail Kelly, who gets Brevard the serve back. As White will head back to serve. 20-14 your scores. White serve goes back row for Brown. Now Lukey sets up Brown far side. White there with an incredible dig to keep the play alive. Now Brown in the middle, she'll score. Nice play by Abigail Brown, who is now 1 kill away from 600. She won't get it right now because she's going to check out. And checking back in is Anna Burling, who will serve, as well as Micaiah Greenlee. Burling will head back to serve with a 7-point advantage for the Royals as it goes back row for Caroline Moon. Boulay pushes it to Milana Hoyle. Right there is Lukey. Bell now far side. Hoyle tries to put it down. She can't. There's a Royal right there. Now Bell far side. She's denied at the net. Plays kept alive. Gorley just tries to roll it over the net, but Milana Hoyle was there for the play. Now Kelly, a big swing, and she puts it through the middle blockers. Point Brevard. She and the Tornadoes start to have some life late in this first set as Hoyle checks out. Kirkland Hudler will check back in to do the serving duties. Hudler tees up the serve with her right hand. She just missed the back line. And it's a service error for Kirkland Hudler and the Tornadoes, who trail by 7. Johnson needs 3 to close out this first set. As Marissa McMahon heads back to serve. Puts it over with the right hand. Moon's there in the back row. Now Boulay sets up Fontana. She's denied the net. Now Boulay goes all the way cross court for Kelly. Kelly puts it right through him again and scores. Abigail Kelly has been active on the opposite side of the floor as she racks up her 4th kill of the contest. 22-16 as she'll head back to serve. I'm going to keep the serve with Brevard for a little while here late in the first set. Back row for Greenlee. Lukey in the middle. Now back to Greenlee. She's denied at the net. Actually, it might have just went into the net. Couldn't quite tell from this vantage point. Nonetheless, point Tornadoes. And it's a 5-point deficit now. Brevard has done a nice job clawing back in this first set. Once trailed by 10. As Kelly sends a serve over. Nice job on the back row. As Morris puts it over. Hudler's right there. Now in the middle, Abigail Kelly tries to go back row. But the Royals right there. Far side Bell. She's denied and right back to Lily White. Boulay pushes the opposite side from Moon, who tries to go back row, and she does as it ricochets off a couple Royals. And it's a 4-point lead for Johnson. The Royals will take a timeout late in this first set with Brevard making a late surge. We'll see if the Tornadoes have a last gasp in this first set. On the other side, we'll take a quick break.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Brevard only down 4 late in this first set. A nice surge from the Tornadoes to get back into this first set. Mentioned the amount of tight sets this team has had as Kelly tees up the serve, goes to Greenlee, and she's able to keep it alive. Burling now far side for Bell, who rolls it over. Set up near side, Fontana, a powerful swing, and she puts it right through the middle blockers. Brevard now within 3. Seems like it takes a little while sometimes for this team to get its feet under itself, but once it does, Brevard is very competitive as Kelly sends a serve to Greenlee. Lukey sets up Bell on the far side, goes off the hands of the middle blockers. Hudler keeps it alive, and now Fontana rolls over the free ball. Lukey sets up in the middle. Bell a strong swing. Moon tried to push it back row, but she's a little too strong. And an attacking error gives the Royals a serve back, needing only 2 points to close out the first set. Bell will check out. Checking back in is Kaylin Marshall. As she tees up the serve with the right hand, goes back row for Hudler. Boulay, far side, Moon, a strong swing, goes off the hands of Marshall. Point Tornadoes. You're seeing some strong swings here late in the first set as Brevard gets a crucial serve back, trailing by just 3. Fontana tees up the serve, goes to McMahon. Now Marshall pushes it towards Lukey at the net. Strong swing, goes past the back line. Point Brevard. 23-21 as new sub checking in is Isabella Lidstrom for the first time, checking in for Lukey. And it's 23-21. Fontana tees up the serve. There's back row for McMahon. Now Marshall pushes it far side. Greenlee off the hands of Hudler. Point Royals. Crucial swing there for Greenlee. As Mackenzie Collins will check in for her. Here comes Abigail Brown as well. Mentioned Brown just 1 kill away from 600 career kills. As Collins heads back to serve with the Royals having set point. She tees up the serve with the right hand. Back row for Hudler. Boulay, far side. Moon, a strong swing off the hands of the middle blockers. Point Tornadoes. Brevard saves a set point for now. As Hoyle checks in, checking out is Hudler. And Boulay will serve. 24-22. Brevard another 5-point or less set here in the first one tonight. Set up in the middle. Gorley puts it down and scores. Point Royals, set Royals, and Brevard drops the first set 25-22. Hard fought first set for Brevard, but falls by 3 points. We'll take a break as we head to set 2. Brevard looks to respond on the other side. We'll be right back.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy. Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not.
Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits.
It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today. It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
With every cheer for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
We welcome you back to Boshemer Gymnasium. Ryan Wilkes taking you through all your coverage. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I have really enjoyed my short amount of time here meeting all of you, and covering Brevard athletics has been a ton of fun as Brevard finds itself behind 1-0. We take a look at some of the stats. Scoring's been pretty well spread out for Johnson. Kirsten Bell leads away with 5 kills. I mentioned Abigail Brown needs 1 kill to reach 600 career kills. What a great accomplishment that would be. It's almost inevitable that she will reach that. As the Tornadoes, 5 kills for Caroline Moon, 4 for Abigail Kelly, 3 for Jackson Tamicki, 2 for Izzy Boulay, and 1 for Emma Fontana. 2 tie scores, 1 lead change in the first set. As we reset the floor here, Brevard with all its starters out there. Same thing with the Johnson University Royals outside of Mackenzie Collins, who will do the serving duties to start set 2. Brevard found itself behind 2-0 the other night. Didn't stop the Tornadoes from surging back and forcing a 5th set. And looks to do so again tonight. Collins will tee up the serve to kick us off here in the second set. As she sends a serve back row for Kirkland Hudler. Now near side Moon, a strong swing. Did it get tipped? Brevard thought so, but it did not. Point Royals, and it's 1-0. Collins heads back to serve again for Johnson University. Sends it over with the right hand. Goes back row for Lily White. And play at the net. And Izzy Boulay won the fight once again. She overpowers the Royals at the net and scores to make it 1-1. White checks out. Back in is Jackson Tamicki. As Fontana will serve for Brevard. Goes back row for Collins. Now set up far side Brown off the hands of Hudler. There was Kelly. Tamicki couldn't get there, and it would be a fourth hit if Brevard tried. Didn't do so, and it's 2-1. And I believe that will be the 600th career kill for Abigail Brown. For tonight, she had 596 career kills coming into tonight. Congratulations to her as the serve goes back row. Boulay pushes it to Caroline Moon. Now far side, Brown tries again. Moon's there with the dig, played the net. Tipped around and pushed over by Gorley. It's going to be Lucy Morris. Now a swing in the middle to Mickey there once again. She scores and we're tied at 2. Point Tornadoes on a nice kill from Jackson to Mickey. Make it 4 for her on the evening. Izzy Boulay will tee up the serve. It goes into the net once again off her palm. Point Royals. Couple service errors for Izzy Boulay tonight. As she looks a little frustrated on the sideline. Not common of her to have those service errors. As the Royals get the serve back. Lily Richards checks in for the first time for Johnson. She'll serve. As she sends it over with the right hand. Goes back row. Caroline Moon. Boulay pushes it near side Moon. Rolls it over the top of the middle blockers. Great dig by McMahon in the middle. Now Brown on the far side goes to Abigail Kelly. Boulay tries to dump. Right there is Araya Gorley. Now near side Kirsten Bell. Boulay pushes it for Caroline Moon. Tries to go cross court, but Brown is there. Now Richards sets up in the middle for Gorley. Went off the hands of Tamicki again, and she pushes it back row. Point Brevard. Jackson Tamicki been very active tonight. Had just 22 kills through the first 9 games coming into this evening. And she's up to 5 here tonight. Caroline Moon will send the serve over in a tie contest early in the second set. Richards far side, Kirsten Bell. Back row for Caroline Moon off her hands. And it goes out of play. Point Royals as Brown will check out in favor of Anna Burling, who will serve. And Micaiah Greenlee checks in as well for Mackenzie Collins. Burling set to serve. Sends it to Abigail Kelly. Boulay at the net again. Nobody home on the far side. Point Johnson. It looked like Boulay, looked like she was almost going to go and try to have it play at the net. And that's what Brevard was preparing for. And then she tried to set it up on the far side. And nobody was there for the Tornadoes. 5-3 Johnson. Burling's serve again goes right over the top of the net. Nice job by White to keep it alive. Now Kelly puts it in the hands of Gorley. Now near side Kelly. She's blocked. Point Royals. Bell and Gorley combined at the net. And Johnson leads 6-3. Anna Burling back to serve again for this Johnson team who has the lead early in the second set. Boulay sets up Tamicki far side. A violation called on Jackson Tamicki. And Burling will keep the serve. Another little bit of a run for Johnson. 5 straight points for the Royals to take this 7-3 lead. Burling's serve goes to Lily White on the back row. Boulay has to go and retrieve it. Now Hoyle. It's back row for Burling. Richards sets up near side Bell. White with a nice dig. Boulay pushes it near side Abigail Kelly. She's denied. But it's kept alive by White. Now Boulay sets in the middle for Tamicki. And she finds a corner in the back row. Point Tornadoes. 6th kill for Jackson Tamicki, who came in the night leading the team in blocks. She had 8 kills and 10 points to open the season against Berea, and she's quickly approaching that season high here this evening. Lily White serves, trailing 7-4. This back row for McMahon. Richard sets up Gorley, who pushes it past the back row. Point Tornadoes. 7-5 Johnson, as White heads back to serve again. Lily White sends it over with the right hand, goes back row for McMahon. Now Richard sets up near side Bell, a powerful swing. She's denied by Kelly and Fontana. Now far side Greenlee off the hands this time. Milana Hoyle, Point Royals. Tried it again on the far side and got it that time. Lucy Morris checks in. Araya Gorley heads to the bench as Marissa McMahon will serve for Johnson. 8-5 your score. Again, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Feel free to leave a comment in the YouTube Live. I'd love to acknowledge you and even answer any questions you have throughout tonight. Near side, it's Abigail Kelly. Tries to go back row, past the outstretched arms of Anna Burling, and she scores. 8-6 as Kirkland Hudler will check in to serve, sending Milana Hoyle to the bench. Brevard trying to do a better job in this second set of limiting the extended runs for the Royals and doing a good job here in the second set. Hudler's serve goes back row, tipped around by Richards, and it goes down. Point Tornadoes service ace for Kirkland Hudler, and the Tornadoes are within one. Really nice job by Hudler, who kind of seems to be a serve specialist for the Tornadoes here this season. She sends over the serve to the back row for McMahon. Now near side, a strong swing by Bell. Finds the back row, Point Royals. Nice job by Bell, who's having a really nice night for this Johnson squad coming in from Tennessee. She's got 6 kills to lead all Royals this evening as Kaylin Marshall will check back in to serve. Sends it back row for Caroline Moon. Fontana sky high to Abigail Kelly. Back row McMahon, a nice dig. Now Marshall near side. Big swing off the hands of the middle blockers. Point Royals, Isabella Lidstrom gets a kill, and it's 10-7. Johnson's done a nice job at stemming the tide when Brevard feels like it's getting some momentum. As Kaylin Marshall sends the serve back row, Caroline Moon. Now Izzy Boulay in the middle for Moon. Goes back row, going down to a knee. Was Burling to keep it alive. Now a strong swing far side from Greenlee. Goes out of play. Point Tornadoes. Deficit back to 2 for Brevard. Abigail Kelly will serve. A freshman out of Texas serves for Brevard. Goes back row for McMahon. Now Burling pushes it far side for Lidstrom. Back row, Lily White keeps it alive. Now Boulay pushes it to Caroline Moon. Kaylin Marshall, now McMahon, far side. Lidstrom again, a little too strong on the swing. Point Brevard. Abigail Kelly will keep the serve. Mentioned the freshman out of Texas. Interesting note, I realized when doing some research today, 12 different states represented in this Brevard roster this year. As Kelly's serve goes back row for McMahon. Marshall sets up in the middle. Kept alive by the Tornadoes. Now Boulay to Fontana. She's denied at the net. It's Morris and Lidstrom combining to make it 11-9. Mackenzie Collins will check back in. Sends Greenlee to the bench. Now Brown also coming in for Burling as Collins will serve. Collins sends a serve into the net. Point Brevard. Service error for the Royals. Mistakes have not been all that common tonight. Although both teams have 9 attacking errors, couple service errors for both sides as well. As Fontana sends a serve back row, McMahon. Now Marshall pushes far side for Brown Kelly. A great dig on the back row, but the Tornadoes couldn't get there as Boulay took a spill. And Moon couldn't get there either. 12-10 Royals. Really nice dig by the freshman Kelly on the back row. As Fontana checks out, White back in. It'll be Morris to serve. Boulay sets up Caroline Moon, tries to go cross court. She's denied, but Tamicki, a beautiful dig in the middle. Marshall tries to dump, and she finds a hardwood. There's a Tornado there, just couldn't get a great touch on the ball. and it's 13-10. Morris will head back to serve again. As she sent it to the back row. Hudler's there now. Boulay near side. Moon off the hands of a couple Royals and scores. Point Brevard as Caroline Moon gets yet another kill. What a productive evening it was for her the other night. The sophomore with 17 kills for Brevard. And that loss to Bob Jones here at home. Boulay's serve. Back row for Collins. Set up in the middle. Early denied. But kept alive by Collins. Far side Brown. White down the back row with a dig. Boulay near side Moon. Tries to push it back row. But Collins is there. Now near side Lidstrom goes back row. And it's in play. There's no call yet. As Caroline Moon a little shaken up. I believe it'll be a point for the Royals. But the bigger concern here is Caroline Moon on the floor. She seems to be a little shaken up. Talking to head coach Abby Pardee and athletic trainer Megan Martinez. Moon tries to walk it off. As she says she's good and she's ready to go. Deep sigh of relief in the gym for Caroline Moon, who's been one of this team's best attackers and hitters so far this year. The sophomore out of Woodstock, Georgia. She had 4 double-digit kill efforts. Coming in the other night, she now has 5 with 17 kills against Bob Jones. Good to see she's all right. As the score sits 14-11, couple subs checking in. For the Johnson University Royals, it'll be Lily Richards checking back in, as well as Kirsten Bell. It'll be Richards to serve, a 3-point lead for the Royals. As Moon continues to try and walk it off, Abby Pardee having a conversation with the official. She doesn't seem to be too happy, maybe with that point, as Moon was visibly shaken up on the floor. Continued discussion between Coach Pardee and the head official, Abby Pardee, very vocal in her displeasure with that. What a job she's done in her time here in Brevard. She took over as the interim in 2022, and since then, things have kept looking up for this program. Not the start the Tornadoes have wanted, but right in every match so far this year. Richards goes back row with the serve. Boulay pushes it near side. Caroline Moon. She's blocked the net, and it finds a near sideline. Point Royals. It's a bit of a waiting game there. The two Royals are waiting to see if that ball was going to land in play, and it did. And it's a 4-point lead for Johnson. Richards goes short with the serve, goes off the hands of Tamicki. Point Johnson. Timeout Brevard as the Royals have taken a 5-point advantage. Brevard will look to battle back on the other side at the timeout. Down 5 here, trailing 1-0 in sets. We'll take a quick break with them and be right back.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Five-point advantage for the Royals out of the timeout. Abby Pardee and the Tornadoes burn one as the Royals back out on the floor ready to go. You see head coach Eric Freed talking to his team, assistant coach. And the timeout, Abby Pardee hyping her team up to come out of this timeout. Brevard really did a nice job battling back in that first set. It was just a 25-22 first set loss despite trailing by 10 points earlier in that set. As Richards will have the serve at the timeout for the Royals. Serve for Richards goes into the net. Point Tornadoes. You see the bench trying to get a little bit more into this one and try to surge the Tornadoes to a win here on a Friday night in Brevard, North Carolina. Not going to be easy with a really talented Johnson squad in town. Moon serve goes past the back line. Point Royals. A service error met with a service error and is back in a 5-point lead for Johnson. Here comes Micaiah Greenlee back in the game. Abigail Brown, who again reached 600 career kills tonight. Congratulations to her and her family. That's a great accomplishment for her. And she tees up the serve. Goes back row for Lily White. Now Boulay pushes far side. Milana Hoyle goes off the hands of middle blockers and kept alive. Richards to Kirsten Bell. Tries to push it back row. Moon there with the dig. Boulay kept it alive, but Tamiki couldn't handle off the net. Point Royals, and it's 18-12. Nice effort by Brevard there. Tamiki just couldn't handle it off the bottom of the net. As Brown sends the serve back row for Lily White. Now Boulay sets up Tamiki in the middle, and she'll score. A kill for Jackson Tamiki, who has really been a strong part of tonight for Brevard. She's up to 7 kills on the evening. That matches her season high that she reached on the first game of the season against Berea. She'll check out as White back in. McMahon on the back row receives the serve. Now Bell goes back row for Moon. White sets up Kelly near side, goes cross court to McMahon. Now Richards tries to dump, but Boulay is there. Kelly goes back row. Richards is there to deny it. Now Bell. Boulay sets up Fontana in the middle. Richards a nice dig on the back row. Now Corley rolls it over. Moon takes a spill to keep it alive. Now Kelly is denied the net. Point Royals. 19-13 your score, and Brevard will burn another timeout. Tornadoes out of timeouts as we go down the stretch here in the second set. We'll take a break with them. 19-13 Johnson. We'll have the rest of the second set on the other side.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Back here at Bosch, Tornadoes trail set number 2, 19-13. In danger of falling behind by 2 sets for the second consecutive game here at home. We saw that one the other night. We'll see what the Tornadoes have in store here in the rest of this second set. McMahon serve goes to Abigail Kelly. Now Boulay, far side. Hoyle, she's blocked, and it goes down. Point Johnson on a combined block between Lucy Morris and Micaiah Greenlee. It might have been a solo block, couldn't quite tell. Nonetheless, it's a 7-point advantage for Johnson. McMahon to tee up the serve once again, goes back row, Lily White. White now a play at the net, and it's put down by Lucy Morris. Point Johnson. It was floating in the air forever, and Morris put it down to score, and it's the largest lead of the second set for Johnson. McMahon to serve again, goes back row, Caroline Moon. Now Boulay sets up Fontana with Richards right there to receive. Far side Greenlee tries to go back row, but it goes past the back line. Point Brevard. An attacking error for the Royals as Kirkland Hudler will once again check in to serve. Hudler bounces the ball in her right hand, sends the serve over to Brown on the back row. Now Richards sets up Brown in the middle. A strong swing, but White is there with a dig. Boulay sets up Moon, who sticks in the net. Point Royals, and it's back to an 8-point lead for Johnson. A couple subs set to check in. Lukey will check back in, as well as Kaylin Marshall, sending Bell and Richards to the bench with Johnson needing just 3 points to close it out. At least the second set as Marshall will set up to serve. First serve goes back row for Caroline Moon. Boulet sets up Kelly near side, tries to go back row. Brown went off her hands. Point Brevard. Another kill for Abigail Kelly, who now is up to 5 kills on the evening, actually make it 6 for the freshman out of Texas, who will serve for the Tornadoes, trailing by 7. Kelly serve, back row for McMahon. Marshall sets up in the middle, a strong swing by Morris, and she finds a back row. Point Royals, and it's 23-15. Here comes Mackenzie Collins back in. Micaiah Greenlee heads to the bench. Collins sets up the serve. Back row for White. Now Marshall sets up Brown far side, rolls it over the top, but Hudler is there with a dig. Boulet sets up Moon. Awkward swing, goes off her hand into the net. Point Johnson, and it's set point. 24-15 with Collins having the chance to end this set right here. Hudler's there on the back row. Boulet sets up near side Moon, who scores off the hand of Collins. And Brevard keeps it alive for the time being, gets the serve back. Sending Emma Fontana back to serve as White checks out. And Tamicki back in. The serve for Fontana. It's backward off the hands of McMahon. Marshall tried to put it over, and it goes out of play. Point Brevard. Feel the energy starting to come back in the gym just a little bit. A lot of work to do. A 7-point lead for Johnson. Still retaining set point. Will for quite a while. Unless Brevard can create a run here. Fontana serve. Back row for Collins. Really nice job to keep that one alive. As Lukey puts it in the net. Point Tornadoes. 24-18. See the Tornadoes getting some momentum late in sets and looking to do that again as Johnson burns one of its 2 timeouts, leading by 6, still with set point. We'll take a quick break with them as Brevard looks to surge back here in the second set. We'll be right back.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Brevard trails 24-18, but has the serve, and just forced a Johnson timeout late in this second set. Fontana serve goes back row. McMahon, nice job to keep that one in play. Now Lukey goes off the hands of Kelly over the Brevard bench. Point Royals, set Royals, and it's 2-0. 25-18, your second set score as Johnson has control of this one, but we saw Brevard do it the other night. Can the Tornadoes do it again? We'll find out on the other side when we return for the third set.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy. Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not. Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate, with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits. It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today. It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
With every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Set 3 on the way between Brevard and Johnson, with the Royals leading 2-0. Brevard looks to battle back again tonight, just like it did the other night. It's going to be tough. The Royals have held firm control of this one. This first set came down the wire, but the second set mainly controlled by the Johnson University Royals. We'll take a look at some of the team stats before we talk some individual stats. 27 kills for Johnson to 24 for Brevard. 14 attacking errors for the Tornadoes, just 11 for Johnson. A .213 hitting percentage for the Royals. Not the best, but it's been good enough to control this one. And then a .135 hitting percentage for the Tornadoes. 31 digs apiece for both sides. Been active on the back rows. As we take a look at some of the individual stats, talked about Abigail Brown reaching 600 career kills. She has 5 kills tonight. Kirsten Bell leads the way with 8. And Micaiah Greenlee has 4, with Lucy Morris having 3. For Brevard, it's been Abigail Kelly with 6, Caroline Moon with 7 kills, as well as Jackson Tamicki, who's 1 kill away from a season high that she had in the opening matchup of the season against Berea. As the two teams get ready to roll. Again, Ryan Wilkes taking through all your coverage here this evening and throughout the season. I hope you guys enjoy at home here on a Friday night. As White will check in to start the set, Tamicki heads to the bench, and we're just about ready to roll. The Tornadoes will have the serve out of the break with Abigail Kelly heading back. And the Tornadoes' comeback effort starts now. Third set about to get underway with Abigail Kelly teeing up the serve. She puts up the right hand, sends the serve to the back row to McMahon. Now Kaylin Marshall near side for Brown. Tries to go back row. She does. Off the hands of White. And she scores. Point Royals, and it's 1-0. There goes Lucy Morris back to serve for the Johnson University Royals. She sends a serve over the right hand. Morris puts it in the net. Point Brevard. Service error for the Johnson University Royals as McMahon checks back in. Emma Fontana heads back to serve for Brevard. 1 apiece here very early in this third set. As Fontana's serve goes back row for Richards. For Collins. Now a big swing on the far side from Lukey goes out of play. Point Brevard. Tornadoes keep the serve as Brevard takes a 2-1 lead. Fontana sets the serve again. Tees up the serve, goes back row for Collins. Now Lukey pushes it near side. Collins will just have to roll it over as Hudler receives in the back row. Now Moon, a strong swing. That went out of play. Brevard thought it was tipped, but it was not touched in the net. Point Royals, and Johnson gets the serve back. In comes Kirsten Bell as well as Lily Richards, And Richards will do the serving duties. Richards sends his serve back row for Hudler. Now Boulay sets up Moon far side, trying to get across court, and it rolls around off the top of the net and falls back on Brevard's side of the floor. Point Royals, it's 3-2. As Lily Richards will serve once again for Johnson, trying to get out of Brevard with a big win and move the record to 8-3. Serve goes into the net on the far side, and Brevard gets a break, gets a serve back, and it's 3-all. Checking in Milana Hoyle as well as Lily White, who comes in for Kylie Ketcher, who just saw her first action tonight. As Boulay will serve. Lindsay Boulay sends a serve to McMahon on the back row. Now Richards sets up near side Bell. She's blocked, but it's tipped around and kept alive. Nice job as Gorley rolls it over. Boulay to Hoyle. Goes off the hands of Richards, and she scores. 4-3 Brevard as the energy's starting to ramp up in the gym. Been a little quiet tonight, but Brevard's fans trying to get into it and will this team to force a fourth set. Boulay sends a serve over to McMahon on the back row. Richards sets up near side. Bell goes cross court off the hands of Moon, and it rolls to the Brevard bench. Point Royals. And a couple of subs checking in. It'll be Burling to serve, and Greenlee checks in as well, sending Brown and Richards to the Johnson bench. Burling ready to tee up the serve, sends it back row for Kelly. Now Boulay, far side Moon, rolls it over the top of middle blockers, but it's kept alive. McMahon, far side Bell, tried to roll it over, could not. Tamicki and Moon were there. Point Tornadoes. Really nice job by Moon and Tamicki, who leads the team in blocks with 14 coming into the contest. Had 3 the other night for Brevard. And gets another one right there. Moon will send the serve right over top of the net. McMahon, nice job to keep it alive. Now Greenlee, a strong swing. She finds a hardwood and scores. And we're back even at 5. Back and forth we go here in this third set. Johnson saw what Brevard was able to do with Bob Jones the other night, trying to avoid any possibility of that tonight. And to close this thing out in 3 sets, McMahon will send the serve back row. Catcher and Kelly there. Now Tamicki will try to roll it over. She does. But a couple rollers are right there. Now it's Kelly near side for Hoyle. As Burling pushes it for Greenlee, who tried to roll it to the back row, could not. As it goes out of play, the Tornadoes back in front, 6-5. Catcher checks out. White will check back in, as well as Fontana coming in for Jackson Tamicki. Lily White will serve. She's been really effective with 19 service aces this season. Sends it back row for Burling. Now set up in the middle, but swing by Morris, who finds the hardwood and scores 6-all. As Johnson will send a couple of subs in the contest. Catcher will check back in as well for Brevard as Bell and Richards check out. And Lukey will check in. Caitlin Marshall back to serve for Johnson. She sends a serve to Moon in the back row. Boulay sets up Fontana in the middle. A strong swing that goes off the hands of McMahon. Point Brevard. And the Tornadoes regain the lead. Hoyle checks out along with catcher for Hudler and White. Tornadoes been swapping liberos here in this third set with catcher and White subbing in and out as Hudler sends a serve to Greenlee on the back row. Now Greenlee in the middle, goes off the hands of middle blockers, but kept alive by Moon on the back row. Now Fontana, strong swing, wasn't tipped, and it goes out of play. Point Royals, as we're back down at 7. Here comes catcher back in. Her and White in and out. Looks like a little bit of an offense-defense type sub here in the third set. As Mackenzie Collins will prepare to serve for Johnson. Sends a serve over with her right hand, and nobody home in the middle of the floor. Service ace for Mackenzie Collins. Point Royals perfectly placed in between that Brevard defense right there as Collins will tee up another serve. Catcher's there on the back row. Boulay tries to dump. Nice job by Brown to contort her body and keep that alive. Great dig by catcher on the back row. Now middle, it's Moon. As McMahon pushes it far side for Lucas. She's blocked, but it's kept alive by McMahon. Trying to dump is Marshall, and it goes out of play. Point Brevard. 8 apiece as White checks back in. Catcher heads to the bench. And Kelly will go back to serve. Have a fair share of tie scores and lead changes here in this third set as each team fights for different purposes in this third set. Kelly back row for McMahon. Marshall sends it over. Now play it in the net. Brown puts it down and scores. Crafty attack there for Abigail Brown. Not only did she put it down, but she put it down the near sideline where she saw no Tornadoes over on this side. 9-8, Johnson leads as Morris serve goes to catcher on the back row. Boulay sets up Fontana, goes off the hands of Marshall, and Morris can't get there. Back and forth we go, 9 apiece, with Emma Fontana heading back to serve. Fontana's serve goes right into the net. Point Royals. And a service error for Emma Fontana with Kylie Ketcher coming back in for her. And it will be Hannah Lukey to serve for the Johnson University Royals with a slight edge, 10-9 in this third set. Boulay sets up far side. Caroline Moon sends it back row. Now far side, it's Bell, big swing. And she finds an empty hardwood on the back row. And for the first time in a while, the team leads by more than 1 point. As Lukey retains a serve, it's 11-9 Johnson. Here in set 3, Lukey's serve goes to Hudler on the back row. Boulay pushes it far side for Caroline Moon, rolls off the top of the net, hits the BC logo in the middle of the hardwood. Point Tornadoes. 11-10 as Boulay will head back to serve. Catcher checks out, as well as Hudler and Kelly and White back in the game for Brevard. Boulay to serve with the Tornadoes trailing by 1. Her serve goes back row for Brown. Now Lukey sets up far side for Brown, but it goes into the net. Point Tornadoes. Back tied up at 11 as Boulay will head back to serve once again for Brevard. Really back and forth third set so far as Boulay's serve goes to McMahon. Lukey sets up Bell on the near side. Off the hands of a couple of Tornadoes. Kelly, nice job to keep it alive. Now Moon will roll it over. Lukey far side for Brown. Off the hands of White. Point Royals. Right idea for Lily White. Just went off the palm of her hands as she'll check out in favor of Kylie Ketcher. As Anna Burling will serve for the Royals. 12-11 Johnson. With Burling teeing up the serve. Back row, Caroline Moon, Izzy Boulay sets up Hoyle in the middle. A strong swing off the hands of McMahon. Point Brevard. It's been a quiet night for the freshman Hoyle, who tallies her first kill of the evening. She was in double digits the other night. She had 12 kills. And she gets her first here in the third set. Caroline Moon's serve kept alive by McMahon. Now Lukey near side for Greenlee. Great dig on the back row by Caroline Moon. Kept alive for a moment. Now Kelly far side, a strong swing. Was it tipped? No, it was not. Point Royals. It looked like that ball might have changed direction on the far side, but the call does not go the way of the Tornadoes. And it's 13-12. Marissa McMahon set to serve with Ketcher subbing back in the contest as her and White continue to swap. Ketcher's there to receive the serve, kept alive by Boulay. Now Ketcher sets up Hoyle, and she'll score. Milana Hoyle coming to life here in this third set. Her second kill in 3 points. And she ties this third set back up at 13. Lily White will serve, entering for Ketcher once again. As the two kind of in and out. Kind of see the strategy here from Abby Pardee. As Lily White set to serve for the Tornadoes. Sends it over with the right hand, back row Greenlee. Now Lukey sets up far side for Kirsten Bell. Rolls over the top, but White's there with a dig. Hoyle, a strong swing. She's denied the net, but Moon will push it far side for Kelly, who floats into the back row as Lukey sets up Bell. Now Moon to Milana Hoyle, goes cross court off the hands of Lukey, kept alive by Bell. Back row Burling. Now Boulay with a dig. White keeps it alive. Hoyle tries again. Boulay pushes it over. Now Lukey tries a dump. She's denied. McMahon to Greenlee off a couple hands, kept alive by Boulay once again. Now White far side Kelly. Lukey keeps it alive. Fontana swings. Was it touched? Point Tornadoes. It was tipped at the net, and Brevard takes a lead. Coach Robin Vanoy did not like that call. She said, we didn't touch it. But the call is that they did. And it's a 1-point lead for Brevard. Lily White back to serve again. with Brevard taking the lead on an exciting point here in the Bosch. Back row for McMahon. Now Lukey sets up in the middle for Morris. Kept alive by Boulay, who goes all the way in the bleachers to keep it alive. Now Lukey sets up in the middle for Bell. Boulay with a dig on the backside. Now far side Kelly denied at the net, but a violation on Brevard Point Royals, and we're tied at 14. This third set really ramping up the intensity here in Brevard, North Carolina. As Bell will check out, Caitlin Marshall back in for the Johnson University Royals. As Boulay sets up far side, Milano Holy goes back row, pass the outstretched arms of Burling. Point Tornadoes. Kirkland Hudler subs in to serve as the Tornadoes have a 1-point lead. Goes back row for Greenlee. And now far side, Greenlee will put it over. Moon on the back row keeps it in play. Now far side, Abigail Kelly goes cross court, but Lukey's there. Marshall sets up in the middle for Morris, who rolls it over the top. White keeps it alive with play at the net. Not decided yet as Greenlee has on the far side, tries to go back row, and she paints the black back line and scores. Tied up at 15 apiece. As the quality of these points really came to life here in this third set as Brown checks in, as well as Mackenzie Collins. Collins sends a serve to the back row. Kylie Ketcher is there. Boulay far side. Abigail Kelly, strong swing off a couple Royals, kept alive. Brown down to Kelly in the middle of the floor. Boulay sets up Moon, who rolls it over the top. As Marshall sets up far side for Lukey, trying to go back row. It was tipped though. Point Royals. That's a right call there. The ball changed direction at the net, and Johnson finds itself back in front by 1. Collins ready to serve once again, sends it over with the right hand. Catcher's there on the back row. Now Boulay sets up Fontana near side. Man keeps alive. Now Brown, strong swing, blocking the net, but it goes out of play. Point Royals. 17 to 15, a 2-point lead for the Johnson University Royals. As Mackenzie Collins send the serve to the back row for Caroline Moon. Izzy Boulay sets up in the middle. Fontana, she's blocked, but Boulay is right there to keep the point alive. Far side, Kelly goes into the net. It might have been blocked. Nonetheless, Point Royals and timeout Brevard. Largest lead in the third set for Johnson in what's been an extremely back and forth third set. 18 to 15 Johnson, as we take a quick break and we'll be right back on the other side.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
We're back here at the Bosch, and what's been an extremely tight third set. Brevard looking to keep this match alive. Johnson has opened up a 3-point lead as we head towards the later parts of set number 3. Brian Wilkes with you here on the call. Hope you're enjoying all our coverage. Thanks to everybody involved tonight. Great operations crew to take us through tonight's action as Brevard finds itself behind 2-0. Mackenzie Collins will serve for the Royals. Goes back row for Caroline Moon. Izzy Boulay sets up far side for Kelly, who rolls it over the top. Collins is there. Marshall far side. Lukey off a couple Tornadoes, but Ketcher and Moon combine to keep it alive. Boulay rolls it over. Now Marshall near side for Brown. Strong swing. Off the hands of catcher. She kept it alive. Now Hudler on the back row. Sends it over. Marshall pushes it to Brown. Strong swing. Just past the back line. Point Tornadoes. Here comes Jackson to Mickey back in. Actually, she'll head back to the bench. Point Tornadoes. It's 18-16. As now Lily White will make that sub for Kylie Ketcher as the Tornadoes will serve. Abigail Kelly will tee it up with the right hand. This back row for Collins. Now Marshall pushes it for Brown, who tries to go cross court, but Moon's there with a dig. Boulay far side back to Moon. Collins, great dig on the back row. Now Marshall to Morris, who rolls it over the top. Boulay tries to dump, and she does it. Point Tornadoes. 18-17 as Izzy Boulay does that signature dump once again, her fourth kill to get Brevard back within one. Kelly sends us her back row. Now Marshall tees it up for Morris. Strong swing, but Kelly's there. Boulay, far side Moon, floats across court and scores off the hands of Brown. 18 apiece. Great execution out of the timeout to cut to the three-point deficit and tie it up. Timeout Johnson, and we're tied at 18. Exciting third set we have, and we'll take you through the rest of it on the other side.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Bosch, Tornadoes and Royals knotted at 18 apiece. Again, both teams fighting for different reasons. Brevard looking to keep this alive in a 2-0 deficit. Saw it started the other night. You get one, then you get another, and just like that, you got the decisive fifth set. But we'll see if Johnson even gives Brevard an opportunity to do that here tonight. The Tornadoes have the serve on a 3-point run to tie this thing back up. It was 18-15, now it's 18 apiece with Abigail Kelly to serve. Her serve goes back row for McMahon. Now Morris near side. It'll be Brown to roll it over. Boulay sets up near side. Fontana, she's blocked, and it finds a near sideline. Point Royals. Morris and Brown were there, and it's a 1-point advantage for the Royals. Mariah Gorley checks back in. It sends McMahon to the bench. Morris is serve a high arcer back row for Kelly. Boulay far side. Moon goes off the hands of Morris over top of the basketball goal, and Collins trying to get there but could not. Point Tornadoes. 19 all with Emma Fontana heading back to serve for Brevard. It's the first to 6 down the stretch here. 19 all as Fontana serve. Off the hands of Collins and down. Point Tornadoes, a service ace for Emma Fontana, and Brevard back out in front late in the third set. Fontana will serve once again as she sends a serve to the back row for Collins. Now Marshall sets up Lukey on the far side, who pushes it to the back row for Kelly. Boulay sets up to Mickey in the middle. Marshall's there. Now McMahon far side, Lukey off the hands of the middle blockers to Mickey and Moon, and it's scored. Point Royals back and forth we go. I'm very interested if we go to a 4-set to see how many ties and how many lead changes we've had here in set 3. Lukey serve back row for Hudler, a high near the ceiling, but it's kept alive by Boulay. Now Moon off the top of the net keeps it in play. In the middle, it's Brown, hard swing, and it goes out of play. Point Brevard on the attacking error from Abigail Brown as White comes back in for catcher. Milana Hoyle will sub in for Kirkland Hudler, and it will be Izzy Boulay to serve. Boulay serves with the right hand, goes to McMahon. Now Marshall to Brown in the middle. Off the net. Was it blocked? It was. Solo block for Caroline Moon, and Brevard leads 22-20. Caroline Moon said not today, and Brevard needs 3 to push this to a 4th set. Boulay serve, back row McMahon. Marshall sets up in the middle. Brown, she's denied, but McMahon with one hand keeps it alive. Marshall tries to dump. White goes with 2 hands over her head to keep it in play. Now Boulay tries to go cross court, and she does so beautifully. Brown with an outstretched hand tried to keep it alive, but couldn't do so. 23-20 Brevard, and Johnson burns another timeout. Brevard needs 2 out of the break to push this to a 4th set. We'll see if they can do so on the other side.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Back here at the Bosch, and starting to get a little deja vu from the other night, where Brevard started with 1 set, got another one, and forced a 5th set. Didn't go the way of the Tornadoes, but Brevard has been able to battle back, as Izzy Boulay has a serve with Brevard having a 3-point advantage. Serve goes back row for Lukey. Now Marshall far side. Brown tipped around the net, and it goes down. A kill for Abigail Brown to get the Royals to serve back and stem the tide just a little bit, as Brown racks up her 10th kill. 2 Royals with 10 kills, Brown and Bell, as Brown will do the serving duties here with the Royals trailing by 2. Brown sends a serve back row for Kelly. Boulay sets up far side. Moon rolls over the top. Brown, great job with the dig on the back row to keep it alive. Now Hoyle, strong swing. McMahon, beautiful dig to keep it in play. Now Greenlee to Izzy Boulay. Catcher pushes it far side. Now Boulay has to roll it over. Marshall sets up Gorley far side. Goes off the hands of Timicki. Keeps it in play. Now Hoyle denied at the net. What a point there, and it ends with a block from the Royals to make it 23-22. Timeout Brevard, with the Tornadoes holding a 1-point advantage. We'll take a break with them and finish up this exciting 3rd set inside the Bosch.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Brevard leads 23-22, but Johnson will have the serve out of the break. It'll be Abigail Brown to serve for Johnson. Ryan Wilkes with you as we continue to move through probably the busiest week we've had so far with Tornado Athletics. Have 1 soccer game completed, have 2 more tomorrow, Futures football on Sunday, and all the action you can catch here on the YouTube live stream. Hope you decide to join us for those exciting matchups. With Brown to serve, 23-22 Brevard. Back row for Abigail Kelly. Boulay pushes far side. Caroline Moon, a strong swing. Did it find the back line? No, it did not. Point Royals Brevard asking if it was tipped, and the Tornadoes will not get the call. Tied at 23 with Brown retaining the serve. What an exciting 3rd set this is. If you're Johnson, you're really hoping you can close this thing out right here with what the Tornadoes were able to do the other night. Serve goes back row to Moon. Boulay tries to dump, and she does it once again. Izzy Boulay scores. Set point Tornadoes as it's 24-23 Brevard. Caroline Moon looking to force a fourth set as Kelly will check back in. Here's a serve from Caroline Moon. Goes for Lukey, play at the net, kept alive. Violation on Johnson, point Tornadoes. Third set goes to Brevard and we play on. Fourth set coming up. Johnson 2, Brevard 1. Discussion being had on the sideline. We'll keep it here for a moment. As Coach Vanoy not happy, final decision's been made. Actually, now McMahon's going to go chat with the official on the podium and try to get explanation. Don't think anything will change here. Johnson's yet to retreat to its bench, as it looks like purely just an explanation here between the official and McMahon. Johnson still protesting something, but the set's going to be final, no less. Johnson finally heads back to its bench, and we will head to the fourth set. Stick around. We'll have more Brevard volleyball coming right up.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy.
Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not. Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits. It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today. It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
With every cheer for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
We welcome you back for the fourth set between Brevard and Johnson. What a night this has been. Again, Ryan Wilson with you here on the call. It's been fun. Past 2 nights here in Boshemer Gymnasium, opening the doors of the 2025 athletic calendar here in Brevard, North Carolina. I mentioned I was curious to see how many ties and lead changes there were there in that set. Polar opposite from the first 2 sets. There was only 2 ties, 3 late lead changes, or 2 ties in the first set, 3 ties in the second, only 1 lead change through the first 2 sets. There in that third set, 18 ties and 7 lead changes. It was back and forth until Brevard finally pulled away with a 25-23 third set win. See if Brevard can replicate its efforts from a couple nights ago and push this to a decisive 5th set. Brevard back on the floor. Johnson simultaneously walking out to kick off this 4th set. Johnson will start with the serve with Kylie Ketcher come in to do libero duties. Again, thanks for joining me tonight. Always feel free to leave a chat, and I'll do my best to acknowledge it. Again, it's been so great that somebody new to the area, somebody new to this role, to meet all of you all, some of you all, as we go throughout this early part of the 2025 athletic calendar. It'll be Collins to serve for Johnson to kick off this 4th set. Collins ready to serve. Sends it over the right hand. Back row for Kirkland Hudler. Now Boulay, Fontana far side. Strong swing goes down off the hands of Morris. Point Tornadoes. 1-0 Brevard. As you feel, if you're listening, you can hear the energy starting to come alive here in the Bosch. Emma Fontana set to serve for Brevard. She sends it back row for McMahon. Now near side Lidstrom tries to go back row, goes out of play. Point Tornadoes. Good start from Brevard here in the fourth set. No libero on the floor. Something to note. I believe that's the first time tonight. Either Lily White or Kylie Ketcher have been on the floor for the Brevard Tornadoes. Serve from Fontana, goes back row Collins. Set up in the middle, poked over by Morris. Did she find the near sideline? She did. Point Royals. Really crafty attack there from Morris, who will serve as McMahon heads to the bench and Araya Gorley checks back in. Morris ready to serve. It's like Caroline Moon wiping up some moisture on the floor from a couple of Tornadoes that took a spill on that last point. Morris will serve, tees it up with the right hand, sends it back row. Abigail Kelly. Now Boulay tries to dump. Collins on the far side, able to keep it alive. Now Brown, strong swing, tipped around by Brevard, and it stays on the Tornado side. Point Royals. Another kill for Brown. Make it 11 on the night for her to lead all Royals. Bell right behind her with 10. The serve from Morris is into the net. Point Tornadoes. 3-2 the score with Izzy Boulay heading back to serve. McMahon checks back in for the Tornadoes. Hudler checks out in favor of Milana Hoyle. Izzy Boulay serves with the right hand, goes back row for Brown. Set up in the middle, strong swing by Gorley, kept alive for a moment. Moon push in the middle to Mickey, tries to go back row. Collins with a dig, there goes McMahon, and it's rolled towards the net by Kaylin Marshall. Point Tornadoes. What an effort on the back row by Johnson there to just keep that point alive. Had no business even getting that far. The Royals were able to make it, give themselves a fighting chance to get that ball over as Boulay sets up the serve. It goes off the top of the net. Collins, great job to keep it alive. Now Lidstrom on the near side, back row for Kelly. Boulay far side, Hoyle. Lidstrom's there with a dig. Now Marshall pushes for Brown, who rolls it over the top. Boulay was there. Moon stuck out her foot, but couldn't keep it in play. Point Royals, a really nice attack there from Abigail Brown as Kirsten Bell checks in for Kaylin Marshall. And it'll send Lily Richards back to serve. 4-3 Tornadoes here early in this fourth set. Brevard has once again clawed back tonight to not go down without a fight. Boulay sets up Hoyle in the middle. She high points the ball, but it's kept alive by Johnson. Now McMahon near side. Bell goes off the hands of Kelly. That ball might have been going out of play, and I think Kelly knew it as soon as it went off her hands. Point Royals. Richards to serve again, 4 apiece here early in the fourth set. Kelly gets it off her hands and pushes it over the other side. Brown, a strong swing. 2 Tornadoes were there at the net, but she overpowers Hoyle and Temecki. Point Royals. 5-4 your score. Johnson in front for the first time here in the fourth set as Richards will serve. Back row Kelly. Boulay, near side Moon, strong swing. Richards keeps it alive, but McMahon can't get there. Point Brevard. Really nice effort by McMahon, something that you can not even debate tonight on the floor. Both these teams putting it all out there. And Brevard again just 1-8 this season, but Tornadoes have been in every single match as Moon serve goes into the net. Point Royals on the service here from Caroline Moon. Here comes Kylie Ketcher back in. Lily White will head out with Abigail Brown to serve. Greenlee checks back in as Collins heads to the bench. For Johnson, Brown serve, goes back row, Kylie Ketcher. Now Boulay sets up to Mickey, who awkwardly puts it over the net, back to Brown on the back row. Richards far side for Greenlee, Boulay is there with a dig. Now Ketcher near side, Kelly rolls it over the top. Brown goes down to the hardwood, but she couldn't quite get there in time. Point Brevard. Really nice effort from Brown. Just couldn't keep a small piece of the ball off the hardwood. She'll check out back in is Burling. Have to assume she'll probably serve on the next rotation here. Lily White back to serve for the Tornadoes, and a 6-6-4 set. Awkward serve goes into the net. Point Royals. It actually will be McMahon to go back to serve as Orley checks out. As McMahon set to serve. Now whistles blow. And not sure what the stoppage is for. Actually, a piece of jewelry on Kylie Ketcher. Or something in Abby Pardee's left hand. She set it on her seat on the bench. And we're back ready to play. 7-6 Johnson with McMahon ready to serve. Back row, Caroline Moon, play at the net. Catcher there, the great dig, but she got on the legs of Milana Hoyle. And it goes towards the Brevard bench. Point Royals, it's 8-6 Johnson. Here in the fourth set. McMahon to serve yet again. Her serve goes back row for Caroline Moon. Boulay pushes it far side. Milana Hoyle, who rolls it over the top, but Bell is right there. Now Greenlee far side, Moon and Daigle in the back row. Boulay pushes it to Abigail Kelly off the hands of a couple of Royals and scored. Abigail Kelly with the kill. And that brings Brevard back within one. Kirkland Hudler will check in. Milana Hoyle heads to the bench. As Hudler tees up the serve, 8-7 Johnson. As Hudler sends a serve to the back row. Richards now far side. Greenlee too strong on the swing. Point Brevard. Back tied at 8 apiece. As again go back and forth, back and forth. That wasn't the case in the first two sets, but again, 18 ties, 7 lead changes in that third set as Hudler will serve again, and this time the serve goes past the back line. Point Royals, and it's 9-8. Checking in is Kaylin Marshall and Isabella Lidstrom sending Bell and Richards to the bench with Marshall to serve. Marshall sends a serve over back row for Moon. Now Boulay, near side Kelly, rolls it over the top. Berlin's there on the back row. Now Morris a strong swing, Boulay's there. Catcher near side Kelly, tried to go cross court, but it goes into the net. Point Royals, and it's 10-8. Not much separating these two sides. I believe the largest lead in that third set was 3 points. This serve goes back row for Moon. Boulay, far side Fontana, nice shot to put it over the top, but McMahon is there with a dig. Boulay tries it, not McMahon active, back in her position. Morris rolls it over the top, catcher couldn't get there. Point Royals, and it's a 3-point lead for Johnson. Both teams have been effective using their timeouts tonight. Robin Van Hoy and Abby Pardee calling them at good times. We'll see if Pardee burns one soon. If start going in the back row now in the middle, Caroline Moon tries to push it back row, but McMahon's there. Far side, Greenlee strong swing. Moon kept it alive. Hudler tries to get there, but couldn't do so. 12-8 Royals, and right on cue, Abby Pardee burns a timeout. 12-8 Johnson. We will take a break with them as Brevard looks to battle back after a surge from the Royals. We'll be right back.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
We're back here at the Bosch. Tornadoes behind the largest deficit for Brevard here in this fourth set. As Caroline Moon getting a little attention on the sideline here. with Kaylin Marshall to serve. Megan Martinez, the athletic trainer. All of them do such a great job, led by Michael Cabri, as Moon back in the game, and Marshall ready to serve. Marshall sends a serve over with the right hand to Caroline Moon. Now Boulay in the middle, Fontana, big swing. Couple Royals there, but they could not deny Emma Fontana, and it's 12-9. Really nice job by Fontana. Sometimes, especially in this game, you've seen these attackers and outside hitters try to work around the middle blockers. That time Fontana put it right through them as Kelly will serve. Back row McMahon. Marshall sets up in the middle. Morris. Hudler is there. Now White, great effort as Boulay rolls over the free ball. Marshall sets up near side. Morris, strong swing off the hands of Kelly. Point Royals. A couple subs set to check in for Johnson. It's Mackenzie Collins and Abigail Brown re-entering the contest, with Johnson leading 13-9. Collins sends it over with the right hand. Catcher is there. Now Boulay pushes it for Caroline Moon. Marshall, nice dig to Lindstrom. Now Boulay sets up near side. Moon denied at the net but kept alive. Hudler right back to Moon, who tries again, tipped around, but McMahon is there. Lindstrom rolls it over as Izzy Boulay sets up far side. Fontana, strong swing. Collins, a dig on the back row. Now Brown ends the point with a big swing, and it's 14-9. She tips her cap to the hard work done on the back row by these Royals to keep that point alive, and Brown ended it with her 14th kill. Collins' serve goes back row for Abigail Kelly. Play at the net. Brown, a big swing, but Hudler's there. Now Moon will roll it over. McMahon to Marshall. Marshall in the middle. Morris, who tries to go near sideline. Nice job by Moon to recover. Now Caroline Moon swings and scores. A block attempt at the net goes out of play, and Brevard back within 4. It's 14-10. Emma Fontana will serve for the Tornadoes. And she'll send the serve over the right hand. Back row for Collins. Play at the net. Too strong by Tamiki as she pats her chest and says, "My bad." Maybe got a little too excited there at the net as Johnson gets a serve back with a 5-point lead. Right idea. Just a little too strong from Tamiki as Gorley checks in. Caroline Moon having a discussion with the official on the podium. Maybe a little bit of blood on the court. It looks like that is the case. And kind of read her lips. She said, "Do you want me to cover it?" And as she continues to discuss with the official. Now Caroline Moon will head to the bench and get a little attention on what looks like her left hand. Megan Martinez will just patch that up on the hand of Caroline Moon. 15-10 your score. The Royals lead the Tornadoes here at home. Again, if you're interested, we got more action coming your way this weekend with men's and women's soccer, both in action tomorrow. And we'll start with the men at 2 o'clock against Center, and we'll conclude our evening with Brevard women's soccer. What a start that squad has had. It's yet to surrender a goal, and a really impressive 2-0 win over Piedmont the other night. And we'll be back in action against Avery tomorrow. Moon gets her hand patched up. Morris to serve with Hudler receiving. Boulay at the net, sets up Tamiki, strong swing, but Marshall's there. Now far side, Brown rolls it over. Hudler to Boulay. Boulay near side. Moon, powerful swing and scores. Caroline Moon, fresh hand and all, puts it down on the back row. And Brevard's back within 4. Milana Hoyle checks in for Hudler, as well as Lily White for Kylie Ketcher. Izzy Boulay to serve. As she tees it up and sends it over past the back line. Point Royals. Costly service error. Felt some momentum coming back from Brevard here in this 4th set, as Lidstrom and Marshall check out in favor of Richards and Bell. It'll be Lily Richards to serve with a 5-point lead in favor of the Johnson Royals. Back row for Abigail Kelly. Boulay sets up Hoyle. Strong swing off the hands of a couple Royals and down. Point Tornadoes at 16-12 as Caroline Moon will head back to serve. (16-12) your score with Moon serving. Goes back row. Now far side Bell. Tries to go back row, and she's a little too strong in the attack. Point Tornadoes, and it's a 3-point deficit. Assistant coach Eric Freed giving a couple words to his freshman Milana Hoyle as Moon serves. Short serve to McMahon. Nice job by Lily Richards to set it up for Gorley. Now far side Milana Hoyle off a couple Royals, kept alive by Richards on the back row. Near side, Brown puts it out of play. Point Brevard. 16-14, 3 straight points for Brevard, and that gets a timeout from Robin Vanoy. 16-14, Johnson. We'll take a quick break and see what the rest of this 4-set holds on the other side.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back at the Bosch, 2-point lead for Johnson. And the intensity of this one is ratcheting up just like it did the other night. Don't want to make any jinxes here. I know the announcer's jinx is certainly a thing. I've been caught red-handed quite a few times with that. But so far, it's looking a lot like the other night where Brevard was able to battle back and force a 5th set. And 2 sets early that Bob Jones controlled, 25-18 the first 2 sets, and Brevard kind of flipped that switch, looking to do so again tonight. Caroline Moon serves, goes back row, Brown. Now Richards far side, Kirsten Bell puts it in the net. Might have been blocked, nonetheless. Point Tornadoes. Brevard back within 1. Caroline Moon keeps the serve, with Brevard trailing by just 1. Moon sends a serve over with the right hand. Brown there on the back row. Richards tries to dump. Boulet's there with the dig. Far side, Milana Hoyle. Strong swing off a couple Royals and rolled over her head by Gorley. Boulet in the middle, kept alive by White. Far side, Hoyle denied. She'll poke it back over. Now McMahon, far side, Bell. Bell a swing, goes past the near sideline. Point Brevard, 16 all, and Brevard, who just trailed by 5, brings this thing back even. Serve goes over to McMahon on the back row. Richards far side, Bell. Now Moon on the back row, a nice dig. Boulet far side. Hoyle denied, kept alive by White. Strong swing by Gorley. Was it tipped? No, it was not. Point Tornadoes. Now a yellow card shown to Lily Richards as she let the emotions get the best of her. Here on the near side. Saw her yell something at the official. Maybe looking for, saying call it both ways, as the Royals have thought a couple plays at the net have been tipped. It hasn't gone their way here on this 4th set. 17-16 Tornadoes as Moon retains a serve. Richards sets up near side. Brown strong swing off the hands of White. And no doubt about that one. Point Royals as we're back tied at 17. Absolute rocket off the hands of Abigail Brown, who will head back to serve. White checks out in favor of Kylie Ketcher. And Greenlee back in for Caitlin Richards. Brown to serve for Johnson. Goes back row for Abigail Kelly. Boulet sets up to Mickey in the middle, and she scores right through the hands of the middle blockers. Point Brevard. Another kill for Jackson Mickey, who has exceeded her season high with 9 kills here tonight, as Lily White heads back to serve, with Brevard leading by 1. White will serve with her right hand, go back row for McMahon. Now Richards sets up Gorley in the middle. Nice job by Brevard to slow that one down. Far side, Hoyle. It goes in the net. Point Johnson. Back tied at 18. As McMahon will serve. Man serve goes to Caroline Moon. Boulay able to keep it alive. Near side, Abigail Kelly. Goes back row for McMahon. Richards sets up in the middle for Morris, who couldn't get a handle on it. Point Tornadoes. Here comes Kirkland Hudler, who will serve as Hoyle checks out. White back in for Kylie Ketcher. And Hudler to serve with a 1-point lead for Brevard. Hope you're enjoying another exciting match inside the Bosch as Hudler sends it back row for McMahon. Richards sets up in the middle. Morris strong swing and she'll score. Nice job from Lucy Morris. As Kaylin Marshall would check back in. Bell checks out as well as Richards, and Hannah Lukey in for her. Kaylin Marshall will serve, tied at 19. She sends a serve to the back row for Kylie Ketcher. Boulay sets up near side Kelly as Marshall keeps it alive. Now McMahon pushes it towards Lukey, goes off the hands of Kelly as Boulay sets up Kelly near side. Was she blocked at the net? She was, but it goes out of play. Point Tornadoes, it's 20-19 with Kelly going back to serve. White back again. We've seen this in the last two sets. Maybe a little bit of an adjustment from the young coach, Abby Pardee, to flip Ketcher and White for certain situations. Marshall sets up Lukey far side. She's blocked but kept alive, just barely by Marshall. Hudler to Boulay, strong swing by Fontana. Great job by McMahon with her fist to keep that alive. Now play at the net. Marshall sets up Greenlee near side. Hudler's there. Now Boulay near side. Moves, strong swing, and she finds the back line. Point Tornadoes. 21-19 as the crowd feels a surge of energy. Now a timeout for Johnson. Johnson burns its last timeout. It's a 2-point lead from Brevard, 21-19. And we'll see if the Tornadoes can yet again force a fifth set. We'll be right back.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
We welcome you back to the Bosch, and the energy here in this gym has been taken to another level. With this team once again backs against the wall, but not being discouraged, down 2 sets to none. I'd even argue the Tornadoes have been better here at home with their backs against the wall. Back-to-back nights where the Tornadoes have fell behind 2 sets to none and extended the games. Kelly to serve, back row for McMahon. Set up near side, Greenlee tries to roll it over the top. She's denied. Play at the net, just rolled over by Morris. As Boulay sets up, Moon tried to go cross court, but it went off the top of the net. Point Royals. Right idea by Moon. She almost inched it over the top of the net, but couldn't quite get there. As Greenlee will check in, Collins will come in to serve. 21-20 Tornadoes. Late in set 4. Collins serves. Hudler's there on a short serve, but it goes out of play. A service ace for Collins. And we're back even at 21 apiece. Both teams tonight have been really good out of timeouts, with Robin Van Ooy making a couple adjustments in the huddle. As Collins serves once again, Hudler receives. Now in the middle, Fontana tries to overpower Lukey Can't do it. Now far side, Brown strong swing. She finds a far sideline. Point Johnson. Timeout, Abby Pardee and Brevard as the Royals have surged at this timeout to take a 1-point lead. We'll take another break, see if the Tornadoes can answer on the timeout. Out of the break. We'll be right back.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
A decisive stretch coming up between these two teams, 22-21. Johnson holds the lead over Brevard with a surge out of the timeout. You see the Tornadoes have one of their own. Both teams out of timeouts now here in this fourth set. Collins will serve for Johnson with a 1-point lead, 22-21. Royals, as Collins serves, goes back row for catcher. Boulay sets up near side. Caroline Moon goes over the top as McMahon will push it far side for Brown. Boulay sets up in the middle. Fontana, but nobody was there as it goes over the outstretched arms of Emma Fontana. Boulay has a quick discussion with her. Just maybe a miscommunication between the two. And seen Izzy Boulay just 2 games here at home. You really see her leadership skills, one of these captains in this Brevard team. Collins will send the serve over back row for Kirkland Hudler. Boulay tries to dump. Multiple Royals there to deny her as the play is kept alive. Moon near side. Received by Marshall now. Near side, Lukey off the hands of Hudler. And Kelly pushes it towards the net for Moon. Rolls it over the top. Morris is there on 2 knees to keep it in play. Now Brown tries to dump it cross court. Set up by Boulay in the middle. Fontana, a strong swing. Overpowers the Royals' middle blockers. Point Tornadoes. And Brevard's back within 1 with the serve. Fontana will serve with Brevard trailing by 1 as her serve goes back row. McMahon. Marshall pokes it around the net, goes off the hands of Hudler and scored. 24-22, set and match point for the Royals coming up. Morris will serve with the match point. Back row, Hudler goes off her hands, catcher racing after it. Hudler will have to dump over the free ball, and she does. Point kept alive. Far side, it's Brown, and she will score. Point Royals, set Royals, match Royals. What a night this was, though. You really have to applaud the efforts from both sides in a really exciting contest. Busy night and busy week here on the campus of Brevard College. As the Tornadoes, despite going 0-2 this week, you really saw the fight and the effort from this young Tornadoes squad. A ton of freshmen on this team and a lot to be excited about. Before we close it out, we'll go through some final stats. Leading the Tornadoes in kills, Caroline Moon. She had 17 the other night, 15 more tonight. And couple with 9. Jackson Temicki resets a season high with 9 kills. Abigail Kelly with 9. Emma Fontana had 7, and Izzy Boulay had 5. For Johnson, it was a notable night. For Abigail Brown, she needed 4 kills coming into the night. She got much more than that to reach 600 career kills. She led the way with 17. Kirsten Bell had 11, and Micaiah Greenlee with 8. Morris with 9. That'll about do it for our action here tonight as Johnson takes down Brevard 3-1, but you see the fight from this Brevard team, and that will likely continue to be the case moving forward. Busy day tomorrow, 2 games. Men's soccer plays at 2 o'clock against Center, and then at 4:30, the women's soccer team closes it out against Averett. Then Sunday, join us for the Futures game as the Futures take on Greensboro. That'll do it tonight. Thank you all for tuning in It's been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed spending your night with me and the Brevard College Tornadoes volleyball team. Be back in action tomorrow. Be sure to tune in to men's soccer at 2 o'clock and women's soccer at 4:30. That's all for now. Ryan Wilkes signing off, and I'll talk to you later.